Louise here at East Cobb Homestead, and today I'm going to show you how to can some green beans. Always remember to do this at your own risk. There are great recipes online from the National Association of Canning, the Ball Blue Book. So always remember what we do in our home is what is best for us. So our green bean crop is starting to die down, and I only was able to get about a bowl full of green beans this morning. This is going to be about 2 quarts. I have already snapped them, so they're ready to go. We are going to be pressure canning these green beans. So I'm not going to warm up any water or anything like that. They're going to go into cold water. And they're going to go into the pressure canner, and we'll show you all how to do that in a little bit. So first thing we got to do is I'm going to put some canned salt in here. I'm going to do a teaspoon. My teaspoons always seem to disappear. There's that one. There's that one. Remember I said before that our crop is not as big as a huge homestead would be, so we got to do with what we got to do with. And I can't lose my green beans. This is 2 meals for my family, 2 sides to meals, so I got to get it done. So I've already washed everything, washed my hands, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to put these in my jars. When you get up to a certain point, you're going to take the jar, make sure you put it on a cloth. Don't do this on a hard surface. Back and down. See how much more room that gave me right there? Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit more in here. Do that. Looks like it's overflowing. But I'm cracking down right there at the top. Move on to the next one. I think this one might be a little shy of a full quart. That's alright. Gotta do with what we gotta do with. Gotta work with what God gave us. Yeah, and it's going to be just a little bit shy of a quart, and that's okay. That will be alright. So again, I'm using my distilled water. We like to use our distilled water, and I'm just going to put that straight in there. I'm not warming anything up because it's going to go in the pressure canner. Now you can, warm up your water and, put hot water and get your pressure canning started, but we're not going to do that. We just kind of get it going as it goes. Right there, I'm leaving an inch head space. Fresh green beans smells so good. Okay guys, I had to take a small pause because I was determined to get my second quart completely filled up. So I ran back out to the garden and picked a few more green beans, and then I had to go pick up my son. Remember I talked about in our intro video, we lose a lot of time for that. Well, I sat in traffic coming back for an hour. So an hour trip, 2-hour round trip took me 3. So we are back. We're going to finish getting these ready for the canner. I've already snapped and packed my extra green beans I ran and got from the garden into here. Now we are going to debubble. Remember, this is an important part to get those bubbles out. And I wish you could see it while I did this, because there's a lot of bubbles that come up as you're doing it. It's very important to get that excess pressure out. Yeah, see, more bubbles just came up, okay? Then do the other one. I don't know if you can see them sitting back here. These are my jalapenos from the garden. I'm going to be canning some of those, pickling them later this week. Have to save a few for my boy Kevin. He likes peppers. He asked if he could have some. We don't typically give away a lot of our produce because we are keeping this for preservation purposes, but when one of your best friends have asked you for some peppers, you gotta give them some peppers. Alright, so smush my stuff back down in there. We're good. I'm going to top this off a little bit with the water. Give me 1 second, I'm going to grab it. Now I want to stop and say, some people will do this with hot water. If you do it with hot water, make sure you heat your jars first. We are not doing it with hot water, so we didn't heat our jars. The reason we're not doing it with hot water is because they're going into the pressure canner and they're already going to cook anyway. So we just figured it was easier just to do it like that, and we have had fine success with it. But if you choose to do it with hot water, please don't forget to heat your cans. Okay, remember, dry cloth to wipe your edges. I already had my lid soaking in my pan. Got them out. So put that right on top. Right on top. Just a hand tight right there. Just a hand tight right there. So now these guys are ready to go in the pressure canner, and you can see them up close. They're very pretty and bright green. One of the reasons we use the distilled water is because after we can them, it keeps it clear. It doesn't get like a cloudy, muddy thing. So we take and spend the extra money and get distilled water. So these are ready to go in the pressure canner. I'm gonna go put them out there. Blake is getting that set up for us right now, so we're gonna head on out there. Okay, y'all, this is our canner. This particular make and model takes 3 quarts of water. I've got my beans in there with my extra quart jars because I don't have enough for doing a full run. Whatever make and model you have, please follow the instructions on yours. We are following the instructions specifically to ours, so make sure you read your instructions for your canner completely. Okay guys, we're about to start canning. I've got my lid on top of my canner. My propane is going. Not quite enough high enough rate for me. There we go. That sounds like a little jet engine. We are waiting for steam to start coming out the pressure ventilator, which is this little thing right here. I know it's kind of hard for you to see. But once the steam comes out at a steady rate for 10 minutes, then we will put the jiggler, or the pressure regulator on old canners. These are called jigglers. And then we will can for 30 minutes. That's for green beans, is for 30 minutes. We can at 11 pounds for 30 minutes. That is based off of our elevation. You need to look up what your elevation is and find out how many pounds you need to can at. Everybody's going to be different, a little bit different, so you need to look that up for you. So we're going to sit here, and it's a waiting game now. Wait for that vent to start happening, and when it does, I will show you. Okay, there's our steady pressure of steam. If you can see that coming out. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't. You can see that. You can see that steam coming out. Now it's time to put this on. Okay, you want to watch that gauge get up to 11, which is getting there. I'm going to turn this bugger down a little bit because we want it to hold at 11, and it is at 11. It's actually going up a little bit higher. So turn it down some. And it just went off on me. Okay, it's holding right there at 11. This one up a little bit, 12. I want it to go back down to 11. So I'm going to turn it down. Okay, and then it's gone back down to 11. I'm going to hold this for 30 minutes and let it pressure can for 30 minutes at 11 pounds. Okay guys, we have pressure canned our green beans at 11 pounds for 30 minutes. The heat is off. We are going to let this pressure gauge come all the way down to 0 before we take the lid off. You never ever ever want to take the lid off before that pressure is down to 0. It would be a disaster, so please do not try it. One thing that I wanted to mention is that we have to pressure can outside because we have a new electric stove. And the newer electric stoves has a self-regulator for when it gets too hot, it will shut off. So which is fine for, you know, just normal boiling stuff or your simmering stuff if you're making tea or something on the stove. But when you need a constant rolling boil, it never gets up to that point. Because it will shut off after so many seconds, and it's a safety feature that all new electric stoves have. So that's one of the reasons that we have to pressure can outside. Okay everybody, it's been about 40 minutes or so, and the pressure gauge is all the way down to 0. So we're going to open up the canner. When you open up your canner, please make sure to open it away from you. Let the steam go back that way. You don't need a facial that bad. So I don't know if you saw all that steam come out, but you don't want that on your face. Now Blake has commandeered my cake pan that I usually use to do this. He roasted him some green coffee beans. We roast our own coffee beans around here. So I'll have to lift it up. And there is one of our jars. You can see the steam coming off of it. It's very hot. Very hot. I'm putting it down on some cloth. Okay friends, here's our final product of the green beans. Lost a little water in the second one, but that is okay. They are very hot to the touch. As you can see, it's the boiling still right there. Let them sit for overnight. I think they're already sealed. But even so, just let them sit out overnight, cool to the touch, and then tomorrow morning I will write on them with the date and put them up. Okay guys, that is the end of our canning green beans video. I hope you learned something, and if you liked the video, please like it, share, subscribe, and we will see you later on this week with pickling some jalapenos and hopefully with some finished hoop coop. Thanks, have a great evening.